Welcome to the Unspoken Files, where every story is more chilling than the last. From true crime and unsolved mysteries to the paranormal and the unknown, we uncover the darkest stories that demand to be told. If you're fascinated by real-life crime cases, haunted history, and the mysteries that leave us searching for answers, then you've come to the right place. Subscribe now and never miss a story that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Imagine this. You're moving into a new home. Your family is exhausted, stressed, and desperate for a fresh start. You unload boxes, set up furniture, and try to breathe a little easier. But then, the house starts whispering. The walls seem to breathe. And the shadows? They move when you're not looking. You soon find out your new home was once a funeral parlor. The basement still holds the tools used to prepare the dead. Embalming tables, rusty scalpels, chains bolted into the walls, and something else. Something that never left. This isn't the setup for a horror film, though it did inspire one. This is the real-life nightmare of the Snedeker family, who unknowingly stepped into one of the darkest, most terrifying paranormal cases ever documented. A case so disturbing, it drew the attention of famed demonologists Ed and Lorraine Warren. What began as strange noises and unexplained feelings quickly escalated into full-blown demonic torment. Ghostly figures in the night, physical attacks, chilling visions, and even reports of possession. But here's the real question. Was the house truly cursed by something evil? Or was the darkness already living within the people who entered it? Tonight, we're diving deep into the real haunting in Connecticut, a case that still sends shivers down the spines of even the most seasoned paranormal investigators. So turn the lights down, and whatever you do, don't watch this alone. In 1986, the Snedeker family was living every parent's worst nightmare. Their eldest son, Philip, had been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a life-threatening form of cancer. His treatments were aggressive, painful, and required daily visits to a hospital in Connecticut, hours away from where they lived. The long commutes, the medical bills, the emotional toll, it was all becoming too much. The family needed relief. So, when they found a large, stately old duplex for rent just minutes from the hospital, it felt like a small miracle. The house was spacious, quiet, and surprisingly affordable. Almost too affordable. But when you're desperate, you don't ask too many questions. It wasn't long after moving in that Carmen Snedeker, the mother, began to notice strange things. Odd smells in the air, cold pockets in rooms with no draft. The air felt heavy, charged, like the house itself was holding its breath. Then came the discovery that would change everything. While exploring the basement, Carmen stumbled upon something horrifying. Rusted mortuary equipment, embalming tables, body lifts, a blood drain carved directly into the floor. Old surgical tools were still scattered around, coated in dust, but unmistakable in their purpose. That's when the landlord casually confirmed the truth. The house had once operated as a funeral home. Dozens, maybe even hundreds, of bodies had passed through its doors. The basement had been the embalming room, a place where the dead were prepared for burial. Most families would have run, but the Snedekers couldn't afford to leave. They were broke, exhausted, and clinging to any stability they could find. So they stayed. But from the very first night, something felt wrong. The air was thick with unease. Sleep came harder. The silence of the house was never quite silent. And before long, it wasn't just the house changing, it was the people inside it. At first, the signs were easy to ignore. A flickering light here, a door creaking open there. Cold spots would appear in the house, even when the heat was on full blast. The kind of things you might chalk up to an old building settling. Carmen tried to keep calm. She told herself they were just imagining things. The house was old. They were tired, stressed, but the strangeness didn't stop. It escalated. Philip, already fragile from his chemotherapy, began to change. He became distant, withdrawn. His once calm demeanor shifted into something dark and volatile. He spoke of shadowy figures standing in the corners of his room, watching him. He said he could hear whispers, low voices that called his name when no one else was around. The most disturbing moment came when he told his mother that, some nights, something would hold him down in his sleep. He couldn't move, couldn't scream. He would just lie there, paralyzed in terror, while an unseen force hovered over him. Carmen tried to be logical. Maybe it was a side effect of the medication. Maybe it was sleep paralysis. But those explanations crumbled when she began experiencing it, too. She started hearing things, deep, guttural growls echoing through the empty rooms. The feeling of being watched became constant, and sometimes she swore she felt hands grabbing her, pulling at her clothes when no one was there. One night, Carmen woke up drenched in sweat. She walked through the house, trying to calm herself down. That's when she noticed something. All the crucifixes they had hung in the home, every last one, had been turned upside down. That was the breaking point. Whatever was in the house wasn't just playing tricks anymore. It was sending a message. The family began to believe they weren't dealing with a simple haunting. This felt darker, more violent, malevolent. Something had been awakened in that house, and it was feeding off their fear. By now, the Snedekers were consumed by fear. Whatever was inside the house was growing stronger. Philip's mental state continued to deteriorate. He began speaking in strange voices, lashing out violently, and claiming that unseen beings were controlling him. Objects in the house moved on their own. Dark apparitions appeared in mirrors, and the family began hearing chanting echoing through the walls. Desperate and terrified, Carmen reached out to the only people she believed could help, Ed and Lorraine Warren, the famed paranormal investigators known for their work on the Amityville Horror, Annabelle, and other now infamous hauntings. When the Warrens arrived at the house, Lorraine claimed she immediately sensed something deeply unnatural. She described the atmosphere as thick with death, like the air itself had absorbed decades of pain and trauma. As a clairvoyant, she said she could feel spirits clinging to the rooms, some angry, others confused, and some unmistakably evil. According to the Warrens, this wasn't a simple haunting. The house wasn't just home to restless spirits. It was a spiritual gateway, a place where dark forces could enter our world. They believed that the home's history as a funeral parlor, combined with rumors of necromantic practices and rituals performed on the bodies, had turned it into a magnet for demonic activity. They didn't just say the house was haunted. They said it was infested. With the family's blessing, the Warrens organized a full-scale exorcism. The ritual, performed by a team of clergy and spiritual experts, was intense and terrifying. The family reported screams coming from inside the walls. Doors slammed violently. At one point, Carmen claimed to see a dark, shadowy figure burst from the basement and vanish into thin air. After the exorcism, the house finally fell silent. Not long after, the Snedekers moved out, leaving everything behind. But the damage was already done. Philip would struggle for years with trauma and emotional scars. Carmen said the experience changed her forever, and the house, it still stands today, quiet, unassuming, but forever marked by what happened inside. Whether it was truly the work of demons or something else entirely, remains a chilling mystery. Some skeptics say the story was exaggerated, maybe even fabricated, for profit or media attention. Others, including the Warrens, stood by every detail. The case became the inspiration for the film The Haunting in Connecticut, but the real events are far more disturbing. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, one thing is clear. This family experienced something that left a permanent mark. So what do you think? Was it all in their minds? Or was something truly evil living in that house? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more true horror stories like this one, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because I've got more real nightmares coming your way. You made it to the end, but are you sure you're alone? If you enjoy stories that keep you up at night, make sure to subscribe to the Unspoken Files, because the next story might just be about you. Subscribe to the Unspoken Files now, before it's too late.